Oh,
with the
baby.
set.
Oh my god.
What's up and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be episode 3 of Grinding the Micro Stakes. Last episode we booked our first loss of $23 in a 2-hour session. So we will be starting with a $721 bankroll. So let's jump back in there and see if we can turn it around and book another win. Alright, we are jumping right back into the action here for episode 3. We're on a fresh table and Colin is facing it all in first hand.
I'm so due. Oh my god, I just need an ace.
Oh.
Straight!
Oh, straight!
Yes!
There you go.
I'm so due, bro. I was so due for something. I was so due.
I told you all in the first episode you'd probably be seeing a lot of Colin because we do play a lot of hands together. So he's back with us here for the 3rd episode.
Here we are. Let's go.
And a pretty good starting hand for you.
Yeah, wasn't bad. Put me in a bad spot, but I was so due.
You did. You ran pretty bad last video.
Yeah, last episode was rough.
I definitely started playing a little tilted there at the end. Kind of punted 20 bucks, but I just couldn't believe her. She won everything.
Yeah, I remember. And it was not fun. It's alright, this episode we're going to turn it around. And Hawkins is all in again for $4.90.
He bought in for 5, so he's just
picked a bad
sending
time to do it.
Oh, do you have a monster? Oh, Eddie likes it too.
Oh boy, that's tough. I'm just gonna check. See if he'll check. Check.
The ace.
You got it that time.
Well. Alright, so the first decent hand we get in this session is Queen Jack of Hearts in the big blind. We're going to get 2 limpers, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the re-raise to 6 big blinds. The original limper is going to 3-bet to 11 big blinds, so I'm just going to call him down to see a flop. Now, this is a pretty uncommon play. I really don't see this too much at these stakes with the limp re-raise. So I'm not sure exactly what they could be representing. If I had to guess, it would be something like suited connectors, like a 6-7, a 7-8, 9-10, something like that, or a middling pair, like 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s. We are going to go to a flop and see 9-10 queen with 2 clubs. Pretty good for us. We hit top pair with an open-ended straight draw, so we're just going to continue betting for value here. The cutoff is going to make the call, and we're going to see a turn that is the ace of hearts. So the ace is a really good card for us. It gives us the best combo draw we could ever ask for. We have the flush draw with the queen high. Only the king of hearts beats us with another heart in their hand. And also the villain here could have an ace, and that would be perfect for us if we do hit our flush or our straight. They could also have a middling pocket pair like I said before, and just wanting to see if they can hit a set on the turn. So still a lot of hands here that we can get value from, so we're just going to go with a half pot bet. And not to forget, we do have a royal flush draw if we hit the king of hearts on the river. Villain makes the call, and we do complete our flush with the 2 of hearts on the river. So here we have 100 big blinds in the pot already. I want to go pretty big, about 75% of the pot, just to squeeze out the most value we can out of any stronger hands that we have dominated. So nice pot there. We will profit about 50 big blinds.
Nice.
Hoping she had a strong ace calling me down, or a 2-pair or something. We lose a couple of small pots, and then we get dealt ace-9 of diamonds in under the gun position. So we're going to go ahead and raise it up to 6 big blinds. Under the gun +1 is going to make the call, and button will also call. And we're going to go 3 ways to the flop, which is just an absolute dream. We flopped the nut flush out of position here, so I'm just going to check it over and let them decide if they want to take a stab at it. Under the gun +1 checks it over, and the button is going to bet out for 10 big blinds. Now here I think he probably just has a single pair type of hand, like a jack or an 8. He could have a possible straight draw, but it seems like he's just trying to bet out and find out where he's at. I don't want to scare anybody off just yet, so I'm going to make the call and hope under the gun +1 also makes the call. Unfortunately, he does fold, and we're going to go to the turn, which is the 10 of clubs. This is kind of a crappy card for us because it can scare away those singling pairs that I am thinking that he has. Since we do have the 9 that blocks the straight from, him being likely to have one of the other 9s. It would be awesome if he did, because we'd probably get some good value off of him. So we're just going to check it over to him again and see if he continues to bet. He goes pretty small here with about 25% pot, and I go ahead and raise it up, get a little greedy here. I think that is a mistake in this position. I should have just called just to keep him in the pot and maybe he improves his hand on the river, but he is just going to fold and we will take out a decent pot. In the very next hand we get dealt Queen Jack of diamonds in the big blind. It's going to limp around to the small blind, who's going to raise it up to 3 big blinds. I just make the call here, which looking back I think is a mistake. I think I should definitely be going for the 3 bet here and raising it up, because now as you can see we are going 5 ways to a flop, which isn't the best with Queen Jack. Unless we flop the nuts or the top 2 pair, there's a good chance we could be beat by some really crappy 2 pair hands. The flop comes pretty good with 3-4 Jack Rainbow. We get top pair with really good kickers, so we're just going to start betting out for value. For 10 big blinds, it is going to fold around and we will take it down. Oh no, I limped. Oh, that's pretty good though. Flopped open-ended.
Got a 5?
9.
You got a 9. Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, build it up. Someone probably paired.
There we go.
Nope, just kidding.
I'll take it with Jack High.
Hell yeah.
Next up we get pocket 5s in the big blind. Under the gun is going to limp, and then under the gun +1 is going to raise to 4 big blinds. It's going to fold around back to me, and I'm going to make the call. Under the gun is also going to call, and we're going to see a flop of 2-6-4 Rainbow. Not a bad flop for us. We do have second pair and have some outs to the straight, but we are multi-way here, so I'm just going to check it, and it is going to check all the way around. The turn is the queen of clubs, and I decided to start out with a bet here and represent the queen. I'm doing this because if neither one of them have a queen, this is going to look pretty scary to them. This is also just kind of a feeler bet to find out where I'm at myself, and if we do get called, we do have some outs to the straight. Under the gun +1 makes the call, and we are going to go to the river, which is the 6 of clubs. Kind of a scary river card here because it does pair the board with the 6, which I think is totally possible that he could have called me on the turn with a 6 and just didn't believe that I had a queen. Does also complete the flush, even though we do have the club blocker, which is another reason he could have called the turn bet. So I'm just going to check it down for showdown value, and he checks back with ace high, so we win a nice little pot there with pocket 5s.
That's a good win with pocket 5s. I had a 4 and I had a club.
A few hands later we get dealt pocket queens and under the gun position, so we're going to go ahead and raise it up to 4 big blinds. We get 1 caller, and then Colin is going to make the big 3 bet to 22 big blinds. This is a very strong range from the small blind position. He's pretty much representing things like pocket 10s, jacks, kings, aces, or any 2 Broadway card combinations suited. Hands like ace king, ace queen, king queen, ace jack. But we obviously cannot go anywhere with queens, so we are going to make the call. The cutoff is going to get out of the way, and the flop comes jack ace 4 with 2 hearts. So this is not the flop we really wanted to see unless we also had a queen on the flop as well, because the likelihood of an ace in his hand is pretty high with that 3 bet. But when he checks it over to me, I just have that gut feeling that in this particular situation he wouldn't check an ace to me. So now I'm starting to think that it's possible that he does have a jack, but just in case he's trapping, I'm going to check it back. The turn is the 9 of spades, and he now leads out for 26 big blinds. It's about half pot. So in the moment I received this bet size as he feels pretty safe with a jack because he's pretty confident I wouldn't check back the flop there with an ace, which is right, I probably wouldn't. So I do just make the call here, and the river is the 4 of diamonds, which is pretty much just a brick. So nothing really changes here on the river, and he continues with another half pot bet. Here I still think he's just trying to get value with a jack in his hand and maybe a king or another strong kicker. If he just had a missed draw, like a missed flush draw here, I think the size would be bigger to really try and get me to fold. If he has a 2 pair like ace jack, then so be it. He will take our money, but we are going to trust our gut and our read, and we're going to make the call, and he's going to show us pocket 10s. This actually makes a lot of sense the way he played it. I think a strong jack would play very similar to that, but now I need to be really cautious if we get in the same situation now, because I think it's very likely that he will check an ace to me and squeeze me for some good value. This next hand is pretty straightforward. We get ace jack in the cutoff, so we go ahead and raise up to 4 big blinds. Button folds. We get 2 callers through ace to the flop, which is 6, 5, 7. Pretty coordinated wet board. We get bet 7 big blinds into us. We just make the call with our 2 overcards. We turn the ace for a dream. It gets checked to us. So we just start betting for value here. We get snap called by the both of them. We get really lucky here with the jack of clubs on the river, giving us top 2 pair. They both check it to us, so we just bet big, make it look kind of bluffy, and see if we can get a light call, but they both snap fold and we take it down. Next up we get queen jack of spades, and I go ahead and open it up to 4 big blinds. We get 2 callers and go 3 ways to the flop, which is king jack 8. Checks all the way through the flop here, and the turn is the 10. I feel pretty good that we're not up against the king, so I bet out for a little bit of value. And this guy jams over the top, which is just really weird to me. You can see I start looking at his stats. After seeing his percentages, I'm just pretty confident here this is most likely some type of strong straight draw or flush draw or some other pair on the board smaller than my jack. So I am taking a big gamble here, and I'm just going to call him down. He shows us the ace 10 with 3rd pair and the straight draw, so we were correct, and we are going to hold it out and win with the pair of jacks. Love to see it. This next hand is pretty interesting. We get the 7-5 in the big blind. It checks to us, so we check our option and we get to a flop of 7-5-6. We flop 2 pair with top and bottom. Checks to us, so we're going to see where we're at and go ahead and bet out for 5 big blinds. The player to my left min raises it to 10 big blinds, and then Colin makes the call. This raise should be pretty strong here, most likely being some type of straight draw or top pair or another 2 pair combination. But we are too strong to go anywhere at this moment, so we make the call. The river is the 8 of diamonds, and this time it checks to Colin, who's going to lead out for a bet of 27 big blinds. Now in this spot, watching this hand back, I'm not sure why I didn't just fold here. I think one of my weaknesses is definitely holding on to 2 pair hands for way too long. With this type of board, there is a lot of bad rivers that we can get, and just being 4 to the straight on the board open-ended is not a good situation for a 2 pair hand like mine. So we're pretty much drawing to a full house with a 5 or a 7, and we make the call. The hijack here is going to also call, and we're going to go to the river, which is not something we wanted to see with it being a diamond and another straight connecting card. But surprisingly this time it checks all the way through. That last card kills the action, and we see the hijack with a bigger 2 pair. Nice to check down for value there if everybody did end up missing, but just get unlucky with the bigger 2 pair there that he did check through. So not too mad at this one. This next hand is a nice one. We got pocket queens in the button, 1 limp, and then the cutoff is going to raise to 5 big blinds. We're going to go ahead and 3-bet to 12 big blinds with the pocket queens. Both the blinds get out of the way and the original limper makes the call. Then the cutoff jams over the top for 109 big blinds. In this spot with queens, I would really like to be just heads up with this guy for his entire stack, so I do decide to make the squeeze play and jam over the top with the 3rd best starting hand in poker. The guy that originally limped and called is going to fold, and the cutoff is going to show us pocket 9s. And we are in great shape here, and we are going to run out clean on the board and take down this nice pot. Let's go! This next hand is pretty straightforward. We get queen jack in early position. It folds to us, so we raise it up to 5 big blinds. We get 2 callers, and the flop is just a beautiful queen 8 queen. I go ahead and fast play and start betting out for some value here. Both players call, and we see a pretty safe turn. That is the 2 of spades. So we continue to bet out here, and both players fold, and we take it down. This is an awesome hand. We get ace 7 of hearts in the small blind. The hijack is going to raise it up to 4 big blinds, and we are going to go 4 ways to a flop. The flop comes pretty good with 6-8 jack with 2 hearts, so we have the nut flush draw. The hijack is going to lead out for 9 big blinds here, and I'm just going to call to see a turn. Big blind also makes the call, and the turn comes 2 of diamonds. I'm just going to check it over, basically just in a check call mode from here, chasing the nuts. Big blind also checks, and the hijack is now going to lead out for half pot for 25 big blinds. In this spot, I'm just feeling good. I've been running pretty hot, so I am just going to continue to call him down and chase the nuts here, hoping for an ace or a heart on the river. We get there with the 3 of hearts, completing the nut flush here, and I check it over to him, just praying he fires out a bet. He waits till the very last second and bets just over the pot with 100 big blinds. I go for max value here and jam over the top. Once he's this pot committed, it's pretty likely that he is going to call, and he does make the call with pocket queens, and we take down a giant pot of about $65. Next hand, we get 7-8 of hearts in middle position. We're going to raise it up to 5 big blinds, and we are going to go 5 ways to a flop with 9 jack 6 with 2 diamonds. The player to my right bets out for 14 big blinds, and I have an open-ended straight draw, so I just make the call. Cutoff makes the call, and small blind also makes the call. We lose one player and go to a turn where we drill the straight with the 10 of spades. Under the gun leads out now with a pretty good size bet. It's only half pot, but it's still 43 big blinds. I think this is a really good spot to raise, just to charge maximum for any flush draws or any 2-pair holdings. Small blind is going to make the call, and the original better under the gun is actually going to make the fold here. He turns over ace-6 of diamonds with bottom pair and the nut flush draw. So here we need to fade anything but a diamond, and we will win another massive pot. The king of diamond comes on the river and we get flushed over straight. Not an absolutely terrible beat because he did have plenty of outs, but pretty sad to see that one go down the other way. If we win that one, we are up mountains and just having a great time. Next up, we get king 10 offsuit in the small blind. Under the gun is going to raise it up, and me and Colin just call. We're going to go to a flop that's for jack 10 rainbow. We flop second pair and check it on over. It checks through and we get a turn. That's the 3 of diamonds. Colin now bets out for 12 big blinds. Here, it's just another situation where I don't think he will check the jack on the flop there. I've also seen him do this with small pairs and possible draws to strengthen his hand. So I'm not convinced he has us beat here, so I make the call. The river is the 5 of diamonds that completes the flush and some possible straights. He bets out for pretty cheap here for 27 big blinds. Just with the simple fact that I have a king of diamonds blocking the flush, I decide to look him up, and we are correct. We catch him bluffing with 8 high. Decent pot there, $9. We'll run through this hand really quick. We get king queen of diamonds in the cutoff here. It gets raised to 5 big blinds and then a 3-bet for 20 big blinds. I make the call with a pretty strong hand here. We get a really nice flop with 2 diamonds and the gut shot Broadway straight draw to a 10. So I just make the call here, hoping I hit one of these draws to take it down. I call one more big turn bet, and unfortunately we miss our draw and force to fold. We do make the correct fold, but still hurts to have that many outs and miss them in a giant pot. So that's 2 pretty bad ones in a row, not much we can do about it, but if we win those 2 hands, we are just soaring. This is another pretty straightforward hand. It limps to us, we raise to 4 big blinds. We get 2 callers, go 3 ways to the flop, and we hit trip queens. We're not going to let this one check through. We're going to go ahead and bet out and charge all the flush draws that might be there. Colin folds and the player to my right makes the call. The turn comes with the king of hearts, which is a pretty safe card. I'm actually hoping he hit a king here. So I bet out for 75% pot and he makes the call. Comes a pretty brick card, the 4 of clubs on the river. So I continue just to bet for value, hoping he has the king, and he makes the call with exactly that. He turns over the king with the flush draw that missed, and we get pretty good value from him. Alright, last hand of the video here. We get king queen offsuit in the button. We're going to go ahead and raise it up to 8 big blinds after a couple limpers. We're going to go 4 ways to the flop where we drill the trip kings. Hijack is going to lead out for 3 big blinds here, and then we see the turn 6 of diamonds. He leads out here again with an 18 big blind bet. He must have been representing the king because I want to get some more money in this pot right away. So I go ahead and raise it up to 36 big blinds, and he unfortunately folds. But not a bad way to end it with a decent pot close to $10. That's going to leave us with an ending stack of about $61. To recap this episode, we started with a bankroll of $721 and we are ending with a bankroll of $755. That gives us an overall profit of $34 over a 2-hour session. Now for the series total, we have an overall profit of $51 now over 7 hours total played. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.